In a quiet little village nestled between rolling hills and thick forests, there lived an old woman named Maati. She was known to everyone in the village, not because of wealth or power, but because of the small, flickering candle that she always kept burning in her tiny home. Maati's house was simple, just a one-room cottage with wooden walls and a thatched roof. Though she had very little, she always welcomed anyone who came to her door. She lived alone after her husband had passed away many years ago, and her children had moved to distant towns in search of work. Despite her loneliness and struggles, she never let the darkness of despair enter her heart. Every evening, as the sun set behind the hills and the village grew dark, Maati would light her candle and place it by the window. Its warm glow spilled out onto the street, a tiny but steady light in the night. Many villagers wondered why she did this, but Maati only smiled and said, "As long as I can share its light with others, darkness cannot win." Life in the village was not easy. The people faced many hardships: harsh winters, poor harvests, and the constant fear of thieves who lurked in the forests beyond. Over time, the villagers had become fearful and suspicious of one another. They shut their doors early and rarely spoke to their neighbors. Darkness, both real and in their hearts, had taken hold. One evening, a young boy named Kiran, shivering from the cold, passed by Maati's house. He saw the soft, golden light spilling through her window and felt drawn to it. Knocking timidly on the door, he asked, "Maati, why do you always keep this candle burning?" Maati smiled kindly and said, "Come in, child. Let me tell you a story." Kiran stepped inside, and Maati offered him a warm bowl of soup. As he ate, she spoke gently, "A long time ago, I was like you, afraid of the dark, afraid of the unknown. But I learned that even a single light can drive away the darkness. If I can share even a little warmth and hope with others, then darkness can never win." Kiran thought about her words all the way home. That night, instead of feeling afraid, he felt a strange warmth in his heart. Soon, more villagers began noticing the little candle. One by one, they came to Maati's home, curious about why she kept it burning. Each time, Maati welcomed them with kindness and shared her simple wisdom. A poor farmer named Ramu, burdened by debt and worries, visited Maati one cold evening. "Maati," he sighed, "what good can a single candle do in this vast darkness?" Maati handed him a small candle and said, "Take this home, Ramu. Light it in your window and see what happens." Ramu did as she said. That night, as his candle flickered in his window, he noticed something strange. His neighbor, whom he had not spoken to in years, came over and smiled. They sat together and talked about old times, and for the first time in years, Ramu felt lighter. The next evening, another neighbor lit a candle, and soon more and more houses began to glow with small, warm lights. As more candles burned each night, something amazing began to happen. The village, once filled with fear and silence, started to change. People began to step out of their homes in the evenings, talking and laughing with one another. They shared stories, food, and kindness. The once deserted village square was now filled with children playing, elders sitting together, and families enjoying the evening breeze. It was as if the village had come back to life, all because of a single candle. A traveling merchant passing through the village stopped in amazement. "What is the secret of this place?" he asked. "It feels so warm and welcoming." The villagers smiled and pointed to Maati's house. "It all started with her candle," they said. The merchant visited Maati and asked, "Why do you keep your candle burning, even when times are hard?" She replied, "In life we cannot always control the hardships we face, but we can choose to share our light. A small act of kindness can spark hope in others, and hope spreads like wildfire." Not everyone in the village understood Maati's wisdom at first. Some scoffed and said, "Candles cannot solve real problems. We need more food, better homes, and security." Maati only smiled and said, "When our hearts are filled with light, we will find the strength to solve our problems together." Slowly, the villagers began to work together to rebuild their village. They helped one another with farming, fixed broken homes, and shared their resources. With their newfound sense of unity and hope, the village became stronger than ever before. One dark winter night, a group of thieves crept towards the village, hoping to steal food and valuables. But as they approached, they saw the entire village glowing with candlelight in every window. They hesitated, puzzled by the warmth and unity they saw. The leader of the thieves, an old man named Pyrav, remembered his own childhood in a similar village. Seeing the lights, he felt a pang of guilt. "This is not a place we should rob," he whispered. "These people stand together." The thieves turned back, leaving the village unharmed. The next morning, Mati found a small pouch of silver coins left at her doorstep. A note inside read, "Your light has touched even the darkest hearts." A legacy of light years passed, and Mati grew older and frailer, but her candle continued to burn every evening. One night, as she sat by the window, she closed her eyes and whispered, "I have done my part. Now it is up to them." When the villagers came to visit her the next morning, they found her peacefully resting, the candle still burning beside her. In her honor, the villagers continued the tradition. Every evening, each home in the village lit a candle in their windows. People from faraway towns came to see the Village of Light and hear Madi's story. They learned that true light comes from kindness, and sharing it makes the world a better place. The moral of the story: even a small act of kindness can spread and inspire others.